Hi, Crosswatchers. Those of you who are curious about a Sagittarius in your life, we're going to jump in and see what messages we have coming up for you. So first, we're going to take a look into Sagittarius's life. Now, anybody who's come for a private reading, you know I don't do the psychic spying. I do connect with archangels when I'm reading, so it is a different vibration. Yes, I do use tarot cards as well, oracle cards, different kinds of cards. So I always go from the angle of like, what is it beneficial for you to know about Sagittarius? Anything that you need to know to protect yourself, or anything that would be good for, or whoever we're looking, not just Sagittarius, but what's good for you to know to protect yourself, and what might be helpful for that person to know, what might be helpful for that person for you to know about what they're going through or their situation. So there might be certain things that I don't pick up on because I might not have permission to access it. But we're going to definitely see what is in your best and highest good to know about Sagittarius. What is in Sagittarius' best and highest good for you to know about them. And we're going to see what is going on in their life right now. What might you need to know? Okay. I'm going to go ahead and pull some cards. What is going on in Sagittarius's life right now? 1, 2, 3, 4. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Alright, so first card here, we got Page of Cups. Okay, so this is going to be different for different ones of you, and I will explain the different scenarios. I do finally have a new tripod. This one's stable. The camera won't be falling over. But Page of Cups is going to come up in different ways. For some of you, you're dealing with a Sagittarius who's come back around. That's what I feel like. I feel like some of you have a Sagittarius and maybe you didn't think you were going to hear from them, or you had given up on hearing from them. And this person has either resurfaced or is going to be resurfacing very soon. And when I see Page of Cups, and I know there's going to be other readers that don't agree with me, and that's totally okay, but anybody who knows anything about tarot reading, there are certain cards that have a certain meaning for certain tarot readers in certain situations. It fluctuates and it changes. And Page of Cups is one of those cards for me. Sometimes I've seen Page of Cups come up in a reading where Spirit's trying to let us know that we're dealing with someone who's very newly opening up their heart chakra. Like maybe emotional intimacy isn't their strongest suit, and maybe physical intimacy isn't their strongest suit, or whatever it might be. But when I see Page of Cups, it's like this person wants to open up now. This person's like, I'm trying. Like I'm healing what needs to be healed, trying to get over my fear. I'm ready to love. I'm ready to open up. So some of you either have someone who's resurfaced and you're like, what in the heck brought you out of the woodwork? And some of you are about to hear from someone, a Sagittarius that might be resurfacing, and this could be why. For some of you, other ones of you, and I'm doing this towards the end of April. I'm going to be doing another Crosswatcher mid-month April, so you might want to check that out. But I'll be doing love videos in the beginning of April too. Um, excuse me, beginning of May. But so for some of you, this is going to be where you may have already heard that this Sagittarius is with somebody else, and you're like, what in the heck is going on? Like, I thought we were going somewhere, and this person maybe pulled away, or they ghosted, or they fell off the face of the earth. Like, what is going on with this other person? Did they have this other person on the side when they were with me? For some of you, you just feel kind of confused about how you all had this connection, and all of a sudden you're hearing about they're with somebody else. And so for those of you who are in that situation, what happened with Sagittarius, again, they started opening up to love. That heart chakra started to open up and beam and shine, and they got scared. This became a bit much for them, and they just came into the energy where they're like, okay, it's time to to get out of here. And so they may have run into another relationship that was more comfortable for them. They may have run off to somebody where they could get financial help, or someone to spend time with, someone to have sex with, whatever it might be. But also at the same time, they might not have the intense, soul connection, or they might not have the intense emotions with that person, and that might make them feel safe. So they might be running away from the connection with you because it feels safer for them to be with someone where they don't have all of these really strong feelings that kind of scare them. Okay? Um we've got two of wands. So some of you already know that your Sagittarius may be at a bit of a crossroads, okay? There might be certain things that they're trying to figure out, or they're trying to make happen. For some of you, you're dealing with a Sagittarius who is about to make you an offer, okay? They're getting ready to make you an offer, and you may already feel like this is going somewhere, or you feel like they're up to something. Not up to something like in a negative way where like you think they're doing something sneaky. You might feel like there's something they're not telling you, and you're not sure, like, is this a good thing, is this a bad thing, should I be worried, are they gonna like confess some crazy secret to me? You might have some kind of like, you might be feeling some vibes here. Sagittarius is up to something when they're not around me, or they're working on something right now. I do feel that this is something that this person's going to be offering you or presenting to you in terms of stability for the future. Okay. But I feel like Sagittarius is stepping up to you in the way where they want things to be clear moving forward. Some of you are dealing with a Sagittarius who's been badly burnt in the past, like badly burnt in the past. And so they're wanting to have some, I want to say serious conversation with you, but I don't mean serious as in like we're in trouble or this is bad. I mean serious in terms of like let's get down to business here. Let's talk about this. Like, what are you looking for? Are you looking to move in? Are you looking to get married? Let's talk about finances. How are we going to do this? What is the budget going to be? Um so I feel it's kind of like that brass tacks kind of energy that some of you Sagittarius is wanting to get ready to talk to you about this, and they're being cautious about their approach. Number one, some of them feel like it might be too soon to have this conversation, and they're on the fence about it because on one hand they're like it might be too soon to have this conversation, but then on the other hand also, I don't want to get invested if like this isn't gonna go in a logical way or in a reasonable way, right? So they're kind of doing this. I call it the double dutch jump in. I don't know if any of you played double dutch as kids on the schoolyard, or if you saw, usually it was the girls, playing double dutch on the schoolyard. But when you've got like both of those ropes going and you're just kind of like rocking side to side, waiting for the right moment to jump in, right? Like they might be doing that little double dutch rock, like, do I go in? Do I go in? Do I go in? So some of you are already noticing that. You feel that like they're trying to say something and then they pull away. And I think that's what it is for a lot of them. Some of them want you to make them a promise. Okay, some of them want to make you a promise, and this is going to be a challenging one for those of you who are in the situation, because remember we had that page of cups, and I said that in this situation, right? Page of cups can mean different things in different readings, but in this particular reading, I'm feeling it as somebody who's just kind of opening up the heart. I feel like for some of you, this person wants to ask you to be patient because they know that there might still be times that they pull away, or they shut down, or they run a little bit cold. And they're wanting to tell you in some way that, look, like I'm trying to open up, but this isn't easy for me, right? So we're gonna get into like what you can do to help the situation. We're gonna continue moving along with what else is going on with Sagittarius. We've got Six of Pentacles, right? So this person is really focusing on money and getting their money right. You might be dealing even with a Sagittarius who owes you money, and like they're wanting to step up and they're trying to make that right. Or maybe they feel in the past you did a lot for them and they didn't do a whole lot for you, and they're wanting to come up and to prove themselves in some way. Some of you might have a Sagittarius who's wanting to move forward with you, but they are currently working on getting out of some kind of a debt before they can do that. Okay. But I do feel that this is, again, guys, this is a general reading. So it's not going to be the same for every single one of you, but I just heard 6 months time. I just heard 6 months time. I heard it 3 times. So I think for some of you, the Sagittarius is working on this debt. They're going to be out of it within 6 months. And then you can expect for a conversation, or, talking about, you know, moving, or getting back together, or getting engaged, or getting married, or whatever it might be. For those of you who are already in this relationship with the Sagittarius, where you're either already married or living with them, or you already are doing business with the Sagittarius in some way, this person is really feeling like they need to step up more, or they're wanting to step up more. Okay. So just to kind of rewind a little bit, if you do have a business situation, or if you do have like a Sagittarius that you're dealing with on a non-romantic level, that Two of Wands or Two of Rods also feels to me like they might be wanting um more freedom financially in the situation, or more say. They want to pull more weight. So again, so if you're already coupled, it could be, or already working, or have a business relationship or a family relationship, if it's not romantic, it could be that this person just wants to be seen as an equal. And so they might be realizing that there's ways in which they got to pull their weight more, and they're stepping up to do it. They're like, it's time, right? Like, I realize that if I want the perks, if I want the perks and the benefits, I have to carry the responsibilities. I have to see through the obligations. So they're realizing this, and they're stepping up to make it happen. And I do think for some of you, there's going to be about a 6 month time frame for this to really reach its full potential, or its full growth. Our next card here is Page of Rods. Okay, so Page of Rods could be mischievousness. It could be something happening fairly quickly. The way that I'm reading this situation, and this just jumped out at me and it made me think of the Sun card. So I did get 6 months time. So a lot of you Sagittarius crosswatchers are dealing with a Sagittarius who's trying to get some things into place in their life. They're trying to get their little ducks in a row. They're trying to set something up for their future. But once it happens, and for some of you, it's going to be about 6 months. Once it happens, they are ready to go. Like, they're like, let's get down to business. Let's talk. Let's make this happen. The Sun card is a card that makes me think of playfulness, of joy, as does Page of Rods. Page of Rods could be mischievousness, many times in a very good or positive way. And those of you who watch my videos, you've heard me say this before. Page of Rods for me is sometimes like this card that comes up with this energy of like a second adolescence. Like, this is somebody who's going to have a lot of fun, somebody who is very, very enthusiastic about their future. They have a lot of ideas, and they're ready to go. Like, they just want to grab the world by the tail and put it in their pocket. Like, they're ready to go. So I do feel that for some of you, you have been very patient with a Sagittarius, and they're going to be showing you in the coming weeks that, hey, like, look, we're trying to get this together. We're trying to get this together. We're trying to make this happen. I'm working on things. I'm working on getting things stable. And so you'll see proof, right? Because it's one thing for somebody to talk the talk, but I feel a lot of you are dealing with a Sagittarius who's actually, like, also backing it up. They're walking the walk. They're not just giving you lip service. You're seeing them apply themselves. You're seeing them try. You're seeing them do things to reach their goals and their dreams. And once these things happen, like once everything falls into place, they're going to follow through. I think some of you have this fear, like you're dealing with a situation where you've got this Sagittarius and you're like, I'm sticking by Sagittarius, but once they, finish school or get out of debt or launch this company or whatever it might be, you might have this fear of like, are they going to go off and find a better, situation somewhere else? Like, I'm sticking by them, but then once they're successful, are they going to forget about me? Are they going to go create some other alliance elsewhere? And for whatever reason, Page of Rods makes me feel like no, like they're sticking with their plan, or they're sticking with you, or they're wanting to take action on what they spoke about, okay? So this is again, even though this is the Page of Rods, I want to read it as the Sun card, because that's really jumping out at me for some reason. And I've never had that happen before. I've had this, deck for, a while now, and it's been my favorite deck. It's the one I've been using in a lot of the personal readings. But yeah, for whatever reason, this time around, and this card comes up, I'm feeling the Sun card vibe as I'm looking at it. All right, so next we have Ace of Swords. So your Sagittarius may have had a lot of negative beliefs about themselves. They may have been putting themselves down in some way. They may have been having a lot of negative self-talk. But now they're coming into this energy where they're overcoming a lot of that. Whatever mental blockages they had, whatever um like limiting beliefs they had about themselves, they're coming over that, they're overcoming that. And so some of you are going to be dealing with a Sagittarius that's like wanting to brainstorm with you and come up with ideas about the future. Some of you are going to be dealing with a Sagittarius where either, if you do have a business connection, they're wanting to do something kind of bold or gutsy with the business, or family. They might want to be doing something bold or gutsy with family assets, or coming together as a family and doing something financially. For those of you who are romantic or going to be romantic with the Sagittarius, they may want to be doing something with you business wise. Like they're wanting to create something with you for the future. Okay, for the future, and in terms of how they're wanting to like move forward. They're wanting you guys to kind of just be partners in crime, so to speak. Not crime where you're going to be doing illegal things, but making things happen together. Making things happen together financially. uh you know I just feel like the Sagittarius, once they get through the next 6 months and accomplish whatever it is that they've been working towards, they have such a boost of confidence where they're just like, they're ready for the next thing, they're ready for the next goal. And so they're going to be wanting you to be prepared for that. That might be what Two of Rods is for some of you. Some of you might have that Sagittarius that's going to open up and say, look, this is where I'm headed. And I just want to know that we're going to be on the same page when we get there. That you're going to be open to doing these things together, or that, you're okay with this plan, or that you're going to be supportive as I'm going through these next phases. Because I do feel a lot of you are dealing with a Sagittarius who's really ready to, um, like, take on their life, like full force, and take charge, take control, not in a controlling jerky kind of way, but just in a very enthusiastic, I don't want to be unhappy anymore kind of way. So let's see what you can do, or like, let's see what Sagittarius wants to say to you. What does Sagittarius want to say to Crosswatchers? 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 I'm hearing, I know I messed up. I know I messed up. I know I messed up. I'm wrong. I know I'm wrong. I know I'm wrong. So some of you might be like, no, Sagittarius, you're being too hard on yourself. And some of you are like, damn straight you did. But let's see what else. What does Sagittarius want you to know, Crosswatcher? Okay. I'm going to do 2 cards for what they want to say to you. Ooh, King of Pentacles. Isn't that a sexy King of Pentacles? I love that King of Pentacles. And the World. Ah, gosh. Crosswatcher. Sagittarius knows you're pretty dang special. I feel like Sagittarius wants you to know that they think the world of world of you, excuse me. Sorry, some people complain when I drink while I'm making videos, but it's better than losing my voice. I do a lot of readings, which means a lot of talking. So King of Pentacles. Okay, first and foremost, there's certain readers that say when they see the court cards it means soulmate. Okay, I do agree with that kind of thinking, but I also kind of, more so because of the type of readings that I do, I'm more into like spiritual connection and spiritual growth. I don't focus so much on romance. The major arcana cards for me are the ones that kind of jump out at me when I'm doing a love reading, because I'm all about like, what is the soul connection here, what is the past life connection here, like, you know, what is the contract that these people have with one another. So for me, I'm like, okay, great, you all are soulmates, but why, like, why is this person here right now? That's more like what I look for. So Sagittarius, the fact that I have a court card and a major arcana card coming up tell me that Sagittarius realizes that you are a very significant soulmate in their life. Now, even if, you know, this isn't a romantic connection, you might be watching because you have a sibling or a parent who's a Sagittarius, or a business partner or something like that. This person realizes that you are in their life for a reason, okay? And that's what a soulmate is. A soulmate is somebody that is in your life for a reason. We have many. Some are romantic, some are not. So those of you who have a romantic thing, obviously this person realizes that, okay, you know what? Like, I can't seem to get Crosswatcher out of my mind. I met Crosswatcher for a reason. And so I feel like what the Sagittarius wants to say is, even if you haven't heard from them in a while, or even if you've gotten news about them being with somebody else, uh they're kind of saying to you, look, you know, you made me a better person, you made me realize my potential, you made me see the world differently, you made me see myself differently, you made me realize that I could do more, okay? And I'm trying to get that together now. I'm gonna get myself established, I'm gonna get myself my money together, but I think the world of you. And once this is done, once I'm where I need to be, I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you that I've done what I need to do to work on myself and to make myself better. Um, so that's what I'm feeling very strongly here. There was something else I wanted to say, now it's escaping me all of a sudden. Oh, okay. So for some of you do have a Sagittarius who is currently with someone else, and you may have a feeling this person's going to be back. This is something for those of you who are in that situation. You see the Sagittarius with someone else, and they seem like they're doing well, or they seem like they're happy, and you might be like, that jerk Sagittarius, but I have a feeling they're going to be back. They're going to be back, and they're going to realize that we had this connection. Again, they may have been running away from their feelings, and I'm sorry to say, and this is what I want you to consider. I feel some of you, not all of you, don't get upset and start saying my Sagittarius would never do that, because this is not for all the Sagittarius. This is some of the Sagittarius, and you will know which ones of you that this is a Sagittarius you're dealing with. Some of the Sagittarius who are in this relationship, they're seeing the person that they're with now as a way to get ahead. Okay, so even though they might have it in their mind that they're gonna get ahead and they're gonna come back for you and like show you that they've made something of yourself, you need to really consider that. I'm not gonna tell you like what to do. I'm not gonna tell you how to live your life. I'm not gonna tell you who to date or who to marry or whatever. You know, it's not my place to tell you how to live your life. But I would just say, you know, think about that. Like, do you really want to be with someone that like could use somebody that way? Because some of you are with a Sagittarius who's with somebody that they're using, right? And so maybe they're going to get their money back, they're going to get their money right, and they're going to come back, and maybe they don't want to use you for money because they have money, but you know, they could be a self-serving person in other ways. So if some of you who have a Sagittarius who's in that energy, I just want you to think about that, my darlings. Just consider it. You might say Sagittarius is fine, and Sagittarius is sexy, and Sagittarius is amazing, and I don't care, I'll put up with it. That fine. That's okay. But just think about it, be aware of it, and think about it. Like I said, I'm never going to tell you who to pick to be with. It's not my place to tell you how to live your life. um But for other ones of you, you do have a Sagittarius who just wants you to know that they really think the world of you, and that once things are good and once things are accomplished, they're going to show you, right? So some of you are dealing with a Sagittarius, those of you who are dealing with a Sagittarius who's away, like they might be away because they're wanting to come back with something to show you, right? You might be like, I don't care. I will be like in Sagittarius's life and I will help them. I don't need to, see them successful. I don't mind being there during the come up. And they might realize that, but I think for a lot of you, the Sagittarius just wants to prove that they can do it on their own, that they can do it themselves. Okay, so let's see what you can do though to help Sagittarius. What can you do to help Sagittarius? Okay. I feel like there's a Sagittarius right now who's watching this, and they're like, what they can do to help Sagittarius is stay out of the way. That's what I'm hearing. Okay. Oh, whoa. Hello. 10 of swords. So yeah, this person's definitely wanting to fight their own battles. Like they're doing this with a vengeance. They're very determined, right? Like they're just they want to do life differently, and maybe they've felt in the past that people have tried to help them and made things worse, or people have tried to help them and then held it over their head. And so I just feel like this person is just really, really wanting to go out on their own and make this happen. So, Three of Pentacles is just do what you need to do for you. Work on your goals, work on your money, work on your creativity, work on the things that bring you satisfaction and joy. Just keep doing you and do it to the fullest. This is one thing a lot of people don't know, is actually even when we're not in touch with our soulmates, if we're healing ourselves, we're also healing our soulmate, because we're connected. We're connected at the soul. So any self-work that you're doing on yourself is also blessing your soulmate. Okay? So just keeping yourself in that high vibration. The more you are in your high vibration, the more you're going to help this soulmate do what they need to do and go through their own healing. Next, we've got Five of Swords. So again, some of you are going to be getting some news, and you may be very tempted to confront Sagittarius, or some of you are already in contact with Sagittarius, and you might feel like, well, there's something you're not telling me, and you may be very, very tempted to just kind of like come in and confront them. And Five of Swords is like, look, this is a situation that could really escalate and become a really big blow up when it doesn't need to be. And then you have this scorched earth situation where like you could end up burning bridges. So I do think Sagittarius may be just a little defensive right now. So maybe any kind of confrontation, or like calling them out, or you better talk to me, or you better talk about this, it's not going to be a good approach. Not going to be a good approach. For those of you who are with someone, it could lead to a breakup. For some of you who are wanting to reconcile with somebody, it could end in like, ruining chances of reconciliation. For some of you who are trying to have a business or some kind of communication, it could close down the lines of communication. So catch more flies with honey than you do with vinegar. Okay, like maybe just be patient, and be cautious. You don't want to have a big blowout. So you've got Six of Pentacles next. Okay, so Sagittarius is in this place where they're wanting to step up and even out the scales, so to speak. They're wanting to be more generous towards you. They're wanting to be more generous towards others. I feel like they're wanting to pay back karma. So let them do this. Let them do this. Some of you might have a Sagittarius who's coming up and they might owe you a lot of money, but they're like, here, I kind of want to give you $50. And you might be like, what am I going to do with your $50? You owe me hundreds or you owe me thousands. Let them do it because it's helping them shift their energy. It's helping them do something. Or you might have a Sagittarius who's trying to do something kind for you. Let them do it. They need this. They need you to be open to receiving what they're bringing to the table, no matter how small. Because at some point they're gonna be in a position where they can be a lot more generous, or they're in a position where they can, give you what they owe you, whatever that might be. And for some of you, this could be to be generous towards Sagittarius. Now, I want to clarify this. I'm not saying give Sagittarius a ton of money. Don't do that. My general rule for letting people borrow money is always never let anybody borrow more than um never let anybody borrow more than what you can afford to lose, right? Because sometimes people don't pay you back when they say they're going to pay you back. Sometimes people don't pay you back at all, right? And so anytime you're letting anybody borrow money, you're risking never seeing that money again. Hopefully you will, but you're taking the risk that you might not ever see it again. So never part with more than what you can bear to lose. If somebody comes and says, hey, can I borrow $50? But all you've got in your account is 55, and you still got to get to work the rest of the week, you still need bus fare or subway fare or gas money and food or like whatever. You can't do that on $5 for the whole week, right? So you might tell the person, look, I can't give you 50, but I can give you 10. Sorry, that's like the best that I can do. Let me know if you still want it, whatever it might be. So I'm just giving an example. I'm not saying that you should be able to get by a whole week on $40. I'm not saying that at all, but I'm just giving an example. I'm just doing easy math. But like that's what I'm saying basically, is that, don't part with more than what you can. So I think for a lot of you, you and Sagittarius, and it doesn't have to be just money, it could be energy, it could be time, it could be encouragement, it could be affection. Don't part with more than what you can bear to part with. Don't give so much of yourself to where you're not able to keep yourself in your high vibration, because the greatest gift you can give your soulmate is to stay in your high vibration. Outcome here is just move past whatever's in the past. Don't hold on to it, my dears. Okay, just keep moving forward. It's very tempting. I do think a lot of you have some history with the Sagittarius, and it's very tempting to go back and look at the past a lot again. But if you're reconciling, or if you're trying to fix things about this relationship, you got to leave the past in the past, or leave this person alone. Otherwise, it's not going to work. And if this person has done terrible, terrible things, and you just can't seem to let it go, or you can't seem to heal from it or get over it, you're in the right to do that. I'm not going to sit here and say that, oh, no, you should be able to get over it, because your circumstances can be very, very extreme. And if that's the case, then don't let this person back in if you don't feel safe, or if you can't let go. But if you do see that, no, this person has a lot of really good qualities, and this person is good for me in a lot of ways, and they do love me and I do love them, if that's the case, then my darlings, you're gonna have to leave the past in the past and move forward. This is the time to move forward. Some of you are taking a leap of faith on love. Some of you are taking a leap of faith in a situation. But the wheel card is saying your power in the situation is just to move forward. Some of you are very tempted to reach out to this person, and the wheel is saying, no, keep rolling, keep moving it along, Crosswatcher. Just keep yourself in your high vibration, and that soul connection will help that person get into their high vibration. And when they're ready and they feel proud, they can reach out and they can, touch base with you again. All right, my darlings. So I hope this was helpful. I'm going to have the May love readings up in the next few days, and the weekly forecasts will be up, hopefully all by Sunday evening. We'll see what happens. I'm a bit behind trying to catch up, my darlings. But I thank you so much for liking, sharing, commenting, subscribing.